Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, December 12th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol RGTI. Been doing this one on a very routine basis, and once again, higher highs and higher lows. And from a trend building standpoint, that is what it's all about. Now, the interesting thing here is I talked about these lines yesterday, and while the price did gap all the way up here, started off the day with a gap and trap, opened up, nasty move all the way down here. But generally speaking, you can see right where the price found some support, well, right at that lower trend line that I drew. And then from there, not only recovered back to that trend line, but eventually got the break up through there. So definitely a very, very volatile day. No doubt about that. And I realize I state the obvious when I say that. But we'll get rid of those levels here and map out some new key dynamics. And the level that I think most people have now drawn, because it's very straightforward, so I'm not trying to impress you or imply this is a great skill or a fantastic discovery on my part, but I think a lot of people have drawn that line. And I emphasize that because when a lot of people are watching the same line and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some dynamic movement. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid, is it plausible to think that the price kind of goes here and then pushed up through there, that break right there could create additional buying pressure, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy? That is absolutely a valid way to look at this. So keep an eye on that trend line right there. And then in regards to areas of support, just from the overarching standpoint, I just continue to watch that purple line right there, 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving because I understand the price is way up here. That line's way down there. But as time goes by, that line will move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, the bulls are in full health. Next one, MSTZ, and rough one on this one as the price is now starting to return back to where it was before this nice bounce. So the bounce had, at one point the price was all the way down here, made a great move up, came down, made a great move up, came down yesterday. But the problem is, had it continued on up, had it, found some support around that moving average, then overall things would have looked just fine. But that was not the case. The price gapped down, opening 30 minutes right there was pretty rough. Came down, and it did start to go sideways at that key level, which I've talked about in past videos, at the 88-cent mark. But then you can see late day here, the price finally did break down below there, and now the price is entering this previous territory where it was, which is not exactly a sign of genuine power. Price movements with true strength are not going to go straight up. Nothing can go straight up, but they're not going to go back to where they were, and that's where, the territory that it's starting to enter right now. So first key update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempt to turn around back upwards, public enemy number one now becomes the 88-cent mark. And if this thing continues to bleed, next key, and what I would definitely say, must hold, do or die, whatever dramatic term you can think of, but that would certainly be down here at the lows right there of the 75-cent mark. Because if the price were to go down to 75 cents and then drop below there, that would be putting the price down in an area of the chart that's even lower than where it is right here, down around this level right there. So I'm not saying the price is headed down to 75 cents, but if it does, that is certainly a must-hold level. Next one here, ticker symbol LAES. Nice pattern here has formed. So once again, going back to the whole idea of self-fulfilling prophecies, as I draw this in, I'm not trying to impress you or anything like that. Got to think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very similar to that resistance right there, and at the same time, drawn a support line very similar to something like that. And let's change that to green to represent support. And then to make the pattern easier, let's just keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance, we have our area of support, and then the big explosion right there. And then if you golfers out there try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here, and this would be a bull pennant pattern. So again, as I mentioned, no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid, plausible to think that the price comes up here and gets the break up through the top part of that pattern, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible scenario. So if you like this price range down around the dollar mark, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol AMPG, and it is a hard chart to talk about from a presentation standpoint because it's all about perspective. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 3 minutes, well then, yeah, from that standpoint, the chart looks really, really bad because there's no doubt about it. There was this big pullback right here. So you can't take away from the fact that the price did pull back, and it was a pretty rough pullback. With that being said, if you care about the big picture, then part of that is acknowledging, sure, yeah, I acknowledge, I agree, there was this pullback here. However, because I care about the big picture, what was happening before this pullback? And those people would say, well, the price was here, and then it exploded all the way up there, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So again, I totally understand, depending on your reference point, people that bought right there, they don't care about this bull flag. They probably think I'm crazy saying there's anything bullish about this. But for those of you that care about the bigger picture or are just looking for bull flag patterns, that is the current status of things. So yes, big surge up, got a bit of a pullback, but within that pullback, it has created a bull flag. Next one, NVDA, and after what was a very, very rough day yesterday, basically a full recovery. Not totally, but I mean, you stop and think about the fact that things started off so strong and then came all the way down here, broke below that support, and all of a sudden the price is all the way back up there. Like I said, did not recover fully, but very, very impressive recovery for what was going on yesterday. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that line down there. And I'll change this because, again, when levels of resistance are broken and close above, you want to see them act as support. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area right up to here as a more ideal level of support. When you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be ideally if the price can stay above 137. Now, if it doesn't, that does not mean the entire chart's destroyed. But yeah, staying above there would certainly make things look the healthiest moving forward. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. All eyes now on that pink line there, the famous 200 period moving average. You can see this was a former area of support. So a classic example of that area of support now behaving as resistance right there. And today never quite hit it, but it's definitely within the striking distance, right up around that zone. So keep an eye on 140.50, which would be that 200 period moving average as resistance moving into tomorrow. But all things considered, very, very impressive recovery relative to yesterday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one here, ticker symbol CADL, and a very, very brutal looking chart here, and one of those where it's ugly, no doubt about it, but you longer time viewers know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. But yeah, I mean, to think that there was a gap up, price went all the way up there, and I think some poor souls were buying right there. Hopefully they were using stop losses. If not, that they're not having a good day, because as the price came all the way down here, it did bounce again, which is what makes this interesting here. Because yeah, the overall chart is ugly, but within this you have a nice move up, and then you have this little pullback right here. So again, a little bit of a pullback, but before that there was a nice move up. So you essentially have a little miniature bull flag pattern within a much bigger ugly chart. Now maybe you're looking at this and saying, okay, I don't like these scenarios. Totally fine. That's why I'm trying to offer a variety of people. But there is some logic behind here to be a little bit of to be a little bullish in regards to this overall bearish day. So yes, the overall chart is bearish, but as we look closer, there is this bullish component, which leads to the question, is this bull flag leading to another, kind of a leading indicator to another move back to the upside? So if you find this sort of scenario, if you like to try to find opportunity in overall ugly situations, here you go. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this one decided to make me look just very foolish. I did this one yesterday. There was a rising wedge, called for a pullback, and I mean, to defend myself a little bit, yes, the opening 30 minutes did pull back, but also to just be clear, I was thinking a little bit more of a pullback than that red candle. So yeah, Tesla, not the first time, won't be the last. I was just like, no, we don't care about technical patterns. We're just going to do our own thing. And I mean, look at it even as I speak right now, at highs, pushing to highs. So yes, it absolutely just kicked the rising wedge, and which I said in yesterday's video, just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean the price is going to go down, which is also true for all those bullish patterns I've been talking about. Just because it's a bull flag or a bull pennant does not mean the price is for sure going to go up. But yeah, just crazy movement here, continues to grind. And really from a resistance standpoint, it's, as far as I'm concerned, in blue sky breakout territory, which is a good problem to have. So it's hard to say where, there might be price targets or there might be some resistance points. But on the flip side, hey, that's good, because that just shows that the price is at these highs that have not been seen for a very, very long time. In fact, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Is Tesla at all-time highs? I don't think it is, but I guess now that I think about that, I can't say that for sure. But regardless, very, very impressive movement. So from a resistance standpoint, yeah, you're just going to have to use your gut instincts because it's blue sky breakout territory. In regards to levels of support, one potential area, I think I just had this trend line in here, didn't I? And then I deleted it out. So this could be an area of support in terms of just this former area of resistance now acting as support. But from the overarching standpoint, as I've talked about, no need to overcomplicate it. If you just care about the grand scheme of things, just continue to watch that purple line right there, 50 period moving average. And as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above that level, then the bulls are in full health. Next one here, ticker symbol QBTS, and talked about this formation yesterday. And as I mentioned, just because there's a bullish pattern, it does not mean it's going to go up. It came down to the lower part of the pattern, and you can see broke down through it, which created quite a bit of a movement down. There has been a little bit of a recovery. So overall, that pattern did not work out. And well, it depends on your perspective. Shorts that took that break to the downside, yeah, that worked out very well for them. But overall, big picture, everything is still perfectly fine. Yes, the price is down below that purple line, but the price is still nicely up above that pink line, the 200 period moving average. So it's all about perspective again. Day traders that were buying right there, or maybe a day trader that bought the dip right there, yeah, not looking good at all for you. But if you do care about the bigger picture, things are still fine. In fact, even with this pullback here, there is still a multi-day bull flag pattern in play. Now, I would not say this is the most attractive bull flag, but you could make an argument for a bull flag. But nonetheless, keep in mind, a lot of this has to do with what is your perspective going in, what was your strategy. But as far as main areas to watch moving forward, no need to overcomplicate this in terms of areas of resistance. Main level to watch on any sort of attempted turnaround back to the upside. Right there, the purple line, 50 period moving average currently valued at 467. And then as far as areas of support, like I said, let's keep it simple and ask yourselves the question, where did the bleeding finally stop today? And it finally stopped right down there at about 377. So 377 will be that initial area of support. And if that level doesn't hold up, then definitely a must-hold level down there, that pink line, which I talked about already, is a 200 period moving average right now valued at 314. Next one here, ticker symbol PLTR, and a rough past couple of days with the pullback. But again, big picture-wise, everything's still perfectly fine. So there's no need to freak out on that. It's still putting in higher highs, higher lows. But let me get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. And first I guess not necessarily the first area of resistance is going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average. But next level will be that level based on the rule. Levels of support are broken. They tend to act as resistance, and that's actually already played out a couple of times over there. So keep an eye on that. But one hurdle at a time, and first hurdle is that purple line, followed by the red line up there. And then if this thing does, which is, today's a very crazy day. So opening 30 minutes, just pure brutality. And then after that, look at that upwards channel. Very, very impressive. But in the event that there is a break to the downside, main area of support remains down there. The pink line, 200 period moving average right now valued at 67.80. So like I said, crazy day when you actually stop and think about it. How opening 30 minutes, so nasty, but after that, recover nicely. So does this recovery continue? Can this recovery push up through these next couple areas of resistance? Grab your popcorn for Thursday. Next one here, SOUN, and overall not this greatest day for the pattern, but you got to give some credit where credit's due. Yes, the pattern was broken right there. Yes, it did come down quite a bit, but it leveled off not that far below and is now slightly moving its way back upwards. So yes, there's still work that needs to be done, but by no means was this some sort of situation where, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while, but if you have, I'm sure you've seen those situations where a trend line is broken and then it's just blood the entire day long, but that was not the case here. It is trying to recover back upwards. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level, and we'll just make this as clean as possible and not have lines everywhere. So really the main dynamic from a resistance standpoint is going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average. You can see it actually was behaving as resistance right there. Current value at 1420. And then if the price is able to push up through there, next key area is just going to be that resistance trend line, which I drew previously. In terms of areas of support, no need to overcomplicate this. Just ask the question, where did the bleeding finally stop today? And the bleeding stopped several times right down here around that level of 1280-ish, give or take, which makes good sense when you look through the history of the chart. You can see this was a former area of support right here. So once again, acting as support. So like I said, overall, yeah, not the greatest day. You don't like to see patterns and trend lines being broke to the downside, but all things considered, it handled itself pretty well. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but again, for you stock traders out there, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can and should be used, then again, go get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be very soon, Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you want to look for a way to just support the channel totally free of charge, then if you could hit that subscribe button, that really helps out. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that is because Bitcoin is open 24/7. And in order for this video to remain relevant for as long as possible, I want to use these longer time frames and then walk through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll dictate the current status of things. So since the last update, If you remember, I was talking about all these lower shadows here and saying, these are a good sign. It's showing that every time the bears try to press down, things fight back up. And yeah, now we got a big move back in the upwards direction. So good to see that those levels all held strong. What I'm actually going to do is clean things up here and delete these lines out because we need to kind of start afresh as far as these lines are concerned. So let's just say you're watching this video 15 hours from now. Question number one becomes, where is the price at relative to 102.200? So 102.200. In any way, shape, or form, if you're saying, hey, Clay, I'm watching this 15, 20 hours from now, the price is above there, that is a good thing. Now, how good of a thing? Well, that's where common sense will take over. I mean, if the price is sitting right around here, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. If the price is now way up there, that's telling you that not only has this breakout continued, it's gotten that much stronger. So start there, take an inventory check of where the price is relative to 102.200. And then if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below there, from an overarching standpoint, next question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that pink line, 200 period moving average? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above there, everything is perfectly fine, because even if the price is down below there, but up above here, then that implies the price is somewhere right around here, which is just consolidation. Nothing can go straight up. Prices need to consolidate. The only reason why I would say to find some little worry is if somehow the price is down below that pink line. So keep your eye on those couple levels, and we'll see if this thing continues to break out or if it decides to consolidate until I'm back to update the chart once more. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free class, because what you'll learn about can and definitely should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So as mentioned, it'll be very soon, Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, like I said, if you want to support the channel, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, please just hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching, and make sure you get signed up for that free class.